Good afternoon. It is 5 o'clock on Monday, July 25th of 2022, and we're here for our regular trustee meeting. Would you all stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Mrs. Dean is here through our team meeting website. So hi, Mrs. Dean.
Hello.
And we have an agenda.
Board, I have two modifications. Under Sheriff's Office, please add bi-weekly activity report, and that's already in your printout. And under new business, credit card account policy.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to excuse Ms. Dean from today's regular trustee meeting and to approve the agenda for the July 25th, 2022 meeting as presented.
Second.
Trustee Kretz.
As amended or presented, I'm sorry?
As amended.
Okay, as amended.
Trustee Kretz.
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the general ledger report in the amount of $344,369.43 for the July 13th, 2022 payroll.
Second.
Trustee Kretz.
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the payment listing report in the amount of $482,163.94 for warrants through July 21st, 2022.
Second.
Trustee Kretz.
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 11th, 2022 regular trustee meeting and the July 14th, 2022 regular trustee meeting as presented.
I'm gonna be special.
Special meeting, sorry, as presented.
Second.
Trustee Kretz.
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
Yes. Okay. Then we have no old business, and we have
Citizens.
citizens desiring to speak for 3 minutes. Anyone that wants to come up to speak, please state your name and your address, please. Seeing no one, we'll move on to new business. Mr. Zahari.
Thank you, Board. Just one housekeeping matter. We discovered this hiring the new employee. Is the under the credit card policy, the authorized user list is to be updated once a year at the board reorganization meeting and updated when we add employees. In front of you, you'll see the updated attachment per the policy authorizing the users. The only difference that I'm presenting to today is adding the two new employees. Unfortunately, we missed Carolyn from the Community Development and Risk Department. We added her to the list today, and the administrative assistant that we just hired works for me, Nicole Martin. She is added. We did remove Chrisana. There is a motion prepared for you there.
I'll make a motion to approve the credit card authorized user list for 2022, adding Carolyn Domenico
Done. Yeah, that's it.
and Nicole Martin as presented.
Second.
Trustee Kretz.
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is also I brought a copy as the biweekly report for the Sheriff's Office. We did have a vacation last week, so that's why I didn't make it in the packet. Ms. Sergeant Moore is here to answer any of our questions.
Welcome, Sergeant Moore. Glad to have you here. And you're looking good. How are you feeling?
I feel really good, thank you.
Good. Good. Glad to hear. Are there any questions to Sergeant Moore?
Had none. Is there anything that we can do as a township to help support Clark County in their loss?
So thank you very much for even bringing that up. I think right now it's just I do have some personal friends up there, professional friends, and I think it's just kind of trying to organize the chaos right now. Unfortunately, it's also their fair time as well too. So they all know that we've reached out to them. They have a ton of resources throughout the state that have all reached out. And so I can promise you that if any need is out there that I'm aware of, that I even hear of, let alone ask directly, and I know it's something that that we can get involved in, I know where everyone here stands and where their hearts are at. I would jump at it to give the opportunity to the township to help out. So at this time, the quick answer is that I'm not aware of anything, but certainly my ear is to the ground to try to find a way that we all can help.
Thank you. I know they were very supportive when we lost Sheriff Fisher. So
They were. That's correct. It'll be just an effort going forward. There'll be needs for different things to help supplement their patrol operations, things of that nature, and just a very long list.
okay. The same is extended for his family. So,
Absolutely, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kretz, that was good. Any other questions?
I had none.
I have none, thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Board. Next item is on page 13 of your packet is the biweekly report for HR. Are there any questions?
I had no questions.
I have none, thank you.
I had none either. Thank you very much, Trish.
Thank you, have a good night.
Night.
Thank you, Board. Next item is on page 16, and I'll turn it over to the Fire Marshal.
Evening. Just we stated in the last couple of meetings, want to provide some regular updates, progress reports on the comprehensive land use plan. The staff has identified some members of the community for the steering committee on the project. That first steering committee meeting is going to be August 24th. We've also identified a group of some local stakeholders to interview to gather some information about the phases of the project. So just keeping you informed about where we're at with the comprehensive land use plan. And the other item was Mr. McConnell attended a seminar provided by Drive Ohio for National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure. Talked about some funding over 5 years for the program. That's going to be about $7.5 billion infrastructure grants. Phase one's focusing on major interstate corridors. Unfortunately, Greene County doesn't have, there's nothing targeted for Greene County. We're looking at promoting the 35 corridor in future phases. So we'll keep you updated on some of that as it goes through. And just two more minor items. Again, I think it was mentioned by Mrs. O'Hara, if QQE had their ribbon cutting last week, and they're already looking to expand the building.
Wow.
Already, yeah, so that's pretty exciting. So we're going to try to work with them on that. And then the MVRPC, which will be brought up, the TAC meeting was Thursday. Packets were already done. Thursday, Friday. It'll be in your next bi-weekly, so
Thank you.
just to let you know. But
I had a question on the NEVI grant. Is there something that we can do for, can we look in the future for something for phase two?
I'll ask Mr. McConnell if we can follow
For
up on that.
Beavercreek Township
Yeah.
at least, if not, if we work with the city, Beaver
Yeah.
Creek?
Absolutely.
I'd
yeah.
like to get some kind of on a public egress, a pumping station or charging station, at least to have something in the township if we get on those grants.
Sure. Yeah. I will talk to
There's
Mr.
plenty of money
McConnell.
there.
I had a question about that as well. Would it be something that they maintained and took care of, or would that then be, something that we would have to take care of and fix and maintain? And
So the last grant that was available for the township to apply for, the initial upfront cost was covered by the grant. The long-term cost, including electricity, was going to be maintenance cost and the long-term cost if a general citizen came to, let's say, our parking lot or any of those. We were looking at all the public buildings, so just not the fire stations, but the government center, road department, and the Old Township Administration, which houses the Historical Society and the Beavercreek Wetlands Association. When we were looking at the long-term cost, we decided not to move forward with that. So any of the grants looking forward, looking to the future that are come available, we will evaluate that as part of the evaluation process. What is the upfront cost and what is the long-term cost of the township? So now I understand some of these the other grants were not successful that came out initially because of a lot of jurisdictions did not take advantage of those grants because of those limitations. So I know they're rethinking some of these grants, and with the federal money obviously coming down through ODOT, we'll see and evaluate that process.
That's what I was gonna mention, that I know that they discussed that, and that's why I wanna get on phase 2, because there is more money in that pot. And through MVRPC, they were talking about having a sustainable, maintenance to go forward. That's why I wanna keep our eyes on it. And as soon as if I hear something from MVRPC
Yeah.
and their transportation area, I'll let you know.
And again, Max attends all the TAC meetings, so he'll be on it, and I think he's even kind of asked if Tim
Yeah.
could somehow associate it with this, so, yeah,
Great.
we'll keep
Thank
on
you.
it.
Any other questions to community development?
Thank you.
I had none.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you, Board. Next item is under IT and kind of a surplus resolution, cleaning house of some of the projects that are complete and some of the equipment that is now obsolete. You will see in the resolution in the packet that some of this is fire fund expenditure, general fund expenditure, and road, where you see cost on ownership, that's cost allocated. So some of this, obviously, if it's marked fire, it goes back to the fire. If it goes general and road, it goes back to there. If it's cost allocated, it goes back in the same percentage that it was allocated. You can pass it as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve a resolution finding certain township equipment to be surplus and to dispose of it as presented.
Second,
Trustee Kretz,
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
yes.
Thank you, Board. Next item is on page 29, is the bi-weekly report followed by the ticket summary. Are there any questions that I can answer?
I had none.
I had none.
Thank you, Board. Next item is on page 31 of your packet, is the bi-weekly report for finance. Are there any questions?
I had no questions.
I had none.
None, thank you.
Thank you, Board. And just to give you an update, just as a reminder, August 8th will be our last trustee meeting for the month. We will start the project at that point for the remodel, which will include updating this room as discussed before. So right now, we should be, knock on wood, we should be up and running by the September 12th meeting. Thank you, Board. Next item is a bi-weekly report for the road department. Are there any questions?
Are we saying that all of our F-250s, are these the new F-250s that were recalled, or does this impact us? What's the situation on those?
No, it doesn't impact us. What we're waiting on is some of the parts are not available at the dealer yet. So as soon as those become available, we'll finish that recall up.
Okay.
Any other questions?
But we don't have any vehicles that are down due to the recall. It's just, you're just waiting on a replacement part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of it's inspections and I think wiper arms. So everything is in service and running at this time.
Oh, good.
I had nothing further.
I had no other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Board. Next item's on page 35, and I'll turn it over to the Fire Chief.
Good evening, Board. Tonight I wanted to bring to your attention an item that was in my biweekly last meeting, but I skipped over since I didn't have my notes in front of me. And that is recognition of excellence for firefighters Horn and Zaharieff. I received a letter from a homeowner who had had a CO problem, and firefighters Zaharieff and Horn both responded to that incident. They assisted the homeowner with evacuating the house, which included moving a child that had some special needs. They investigated for the cause, found it, mitigated the problem, and then left the family to safely reoccupy their house. And the homeowner just wanted to point out what a good job they did and the fact that they had a high level of comfort with the professionalism that they had there. So wanted to point them out. And then similarly, this past week, we were notified by the EMS committee. They do a QA, QC process of incidents. And in reviewing the incidents from the prior 2 weeks, they wanted to recognize both firefighter Addis and firefighter Hamilton. They were called out on a stroke patient who was had a DNR with some end-of-life issues, but the stroke was not related to that. The initial report was that care was going to be withheld because of the DNR, and they were able to advocate for the patient along with the family to the ER and to the medical director to make sure that that patient got the care they needed since it was not related to the other issues. And the family was very appreciative and commented on that, and then like I said, the EMS committee picked up on it in their process, so we wanted to recognize them for that as well. End-of-life issues are extremely challenging. They're very fraught with emotion and legalities and all sorts of things, so the fact that they took the time and advocated for their patient is a huge thing, so we want to recognize them for that.
What is a stroke alert?
Stroke alert is basically a notification to the hospital that they believe the patient has had or is having a stroke, which is a very time-sensitive illness related to the medications that can be given. And so by notifying the hospital while they're en route or even before they're en route to the hospital, it lets the receiving facility set up and be prepared for that patient to get them in and get the treatment they need as quickly as possible. It's very similar to a cardiac alert for a heart attack, just on the stroke side of things as opposed to the cardiac arrest side of things.
Thank you.
And that's all I had for the board this evening.
Commend both Mr.
Addis and Hamilton, yes, ma'am.
That I think they really stepped up to their job. That was excellent.
Thank you. I'll pass
Thank
that
you.
on.
Any questions of the chief?
I had none, thank you.
I had none.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, board. That's all I have.
Okay, our legal, before we end our board part, I do want to say a shout out to Ed Amron. His birthday was yesterday, I believe, or Saturday. And so happy birthday, Ed. Our legal advisor.
Nothing today.
Thank you very much. Fiscal officer.
Thank you, Board. I have one resolution for your consideration. This is in regards to the One Ohio opioid settlement. As the Board may recall, the state of Ohio reached a over $800 million agreement with the three largest distributors of opioids. And back in August of 2021, the Board did adopt a resolution authorizing the Township Administrator to sign a memorandum of understanding for what's known as One Ohio. So if this agreement was to be reached, the distribution amounts, Beavercreek Township would receive a portion of that. Happy to report Beavercreek Township will receive a portion of that. Right now it is estimated that Beavercreek Township's portion will be around $270,000. This will be distributed in 18 installments. Per the Ohio Revised Code, anything other than general tax revenue, we have to have a special revenue fund in order to receive any revenue and make any expenditures. So this resolution allows me to create the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund. It's on page 41. It can be passed as presented. Be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Are there any questions to Mr. Rushing?
I had none, thank you.
I had none. I'll make a motion to approve a resolution establishing the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund as presented.
Second.
Trustee Kretz?
Yes.
Trustee Walsh?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Trustee meetings, nothing to report at MVRPC. The TAC committee,
They did have a meeting on Thursday. It'll be in your next packet.
thank you. Regional planning coordinating,
Nothing to report.
health department,
Next meeting is on the 4th of August.
thank you very much, Martine. We had our meeting with the school superintendent, but you, and the,
I have a meeting, this Wednesday with the city manager,
great.
and nothing to report on right, Pat.
And nothing to report. Green County Township Association will not have a meeting in August because of the Green County Fair. Investment Oversight Committee? Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
All right, thank you very much.
We have a meeting this Wednesday afternoon for investment oversight.
Oh, great, thank you, sorry about that. Everything's coming up.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session under Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22G1, to consider dismissal, discipline, and demotion of a public employees.
Second,
Trustee Kretz,
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
yes.
All right, it's 5:54. I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second,
Trustee Kretz,
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
yes.
Thank you, board, that's all I have tonight.
Great. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Trustee Kretz,
Yes.
Trustee Wallace.
yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care, Jessica.